Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to like, subscribe. On your way in, I would love to have you. We have a story coming out of Dayton, Ohio. Asia Nelson, 31 years of age, and her daughter, who was 6 at the time, moved in with her boyfriend from New Jersey. What she did not know, that her life would be cut short. Dayton police on Wednesday released body camera video from a domestic dispute called early June the 23rd. Two officers responded to the house at 337 Berlin Avenue just hours before 31-year-old Asia Nelson and her 6-year-old daughter Harper Monroe were found dead in the home basement. Police say her boyfriend, 32-year-old Waverly Halls, who went by the name Dante, was found dead that day in Alabama from a apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. Nelson had called police multiple times about her concerns that her boyfriend, who also lived at Berlin Avenue house, had threatened her with a gun. She expressed frustration that officers responded to the house. However, when Halls came to the door, he said he called police because Nelson was tearing the place up and he wanted her out of the house. Officer Moore went with Halls inside the house to talk, while Officer Santos spoke with Nelson on the porch. Nelson told Santos that Halls had taken a gun she had bought for home security and threatened her with it. She said when he asked her when she was leaving, she replied she wasn't going to leave. Nelson said his credit cards were maxed out, so when she had money, she paid the balance on both of the cards and now had no money to leave. She also accused Halls of cutting up her credit cards. "I'm not leaving, because you're not going to leave me with nothing," Nelson said. "You made it to where I can't get a credit card, to where I can't go get a hotel. I'm not getting out," she stated. Nelson said Halls replied with, "You're going to be gone when I get back." Nelson played a video from her phone she claimed showed that Halls threatened her. In the video audio heard on the body cam, you hear Halls say, "You need to get out of my house." Nelson replied, "I'm not." He stated, "I bet you are. It's either that or the alternative, and you don't want it." While talking to the police, Nelson was insistent about not leaving the house with nothing. She said she had no friends or family in the area. She said she was from New Jersey. When our officer stepped away from the house, they discussed between them the circumstances and possibility of charging Halls.
Do you plan on staying here, like living here?
I pay this rent here. So I don't have family here. I don't have friends here.
Hear me out. I'm just asking if you want to be here.
I want to be here in peace. Like I told her, I called the police 2 times today already. I did try to do this discreetly because, like I told her, his dad owned about 3 or 4 houses on his block. His granny lived next door. Like I really didn't want to upset him. So I called. I let the dispatcher know what was going on. I let them know that he had already threatened me twice.
I mean, at some point you would have to come here.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. Like I told the dispatcher, like, I don't mind y'all talking to him.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to be around while y'all talking to him.
Right. So, listen, here's what I explained to him.
Okay.
You know, you guys are adults. So, you know, you're obviously both trying to provide a safe space for your children.
I don't think so, though. Because like I told her, he's walking around the house waving his gun that I purchased. Like, he didn't start making any threats last night till he had the gun. So I told her I discounted it to the fact that he was out all day yesterday, had Taco Tuesday drinking. So, I mean, I was like, maybe, you know, if we go to sleep. But today he woke up with the same shenanigans. And everything, all of this is in front of my daughter. Like, that's the issue that I have. You say, like, we're adults trying to provide a safe space.
Well, I'm not
and
saying
he's
that,
not trying to create that environment for his daughter or mine.
What I'm saying is, let's try to let cooler heads prevail, rational minds prevail. And if this isn't a good situation for you, start to make a transition into another situation.
Well, he cut my credit cards off and cleaned out my bank account.
What I'm saying is, where there's a will, there's a way.
Well, I mean, maybe he could go. But I pay the rent here. I have receipts. I've been paying the rent here since I moved here. With no help from him.
Well, if you're going to continue to abide here and live here.
I'm not abiding by anything. I live here, and I have the right to stay here peacefully.
Yeah,
without being threatened.
Listen,
I didn't make any threats to him. I didn't do anything to him.
Yeah, hear me out. Just hear what I'm saying. Okay? I'm not trying to argue with you.
No, I'm not trying to argue with you, but I'm just trying to make sure
If
you
you're going to be here,
understand the
and if it's not a
situation.
good situation, start making the process transition out somewhere else or do something else. Or,
Did you make the same suggestion?
I told him the exact same thing.
Okay.
So
I'm telling you the same thing.
what my partner's trying to say is that if you legitimately don't feel like this is a good living situation for you, then like for me, if I was in a situation that wasn't good for me, I would want to get out.
Okay,
But
hear
the
me
fact
out.
that you're saying like, I'm going to
here.
stay.
I just got here. I don't have a relative's house I could go to. He wants to be here in the heat of this situation. Like I said, his dad owns 4 houses on this block. He could go to his granny house. He could go anywhere. You said cooler heads prevail. He's not trying to get out of this situation. He's trying to create an uncomfortable situation for me.
Right.
To where not only can I not live here peacefully, but he's making it to where I can't even go peaceful. Because he took my money. He
Right.
cleaned the account out. He cut off my credit cards. That's
I
what
hear
he's
you're saying.
doing. So what am I supposed to do?
The fact that this is a family member's house, like one of his family members' houses, you know he's not going anywhere. And they're not going to put him out and let you stay. It's just not. You know
He can
that.
willfully leave.
Right, but what, for the night? Are you guys going to stay together?
No, we're not together. That's it.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, if it was your family and your family's house, are they going to put you out and let him stay?
No, nobody is going to get put out. Nobody's getting put out. But I'm like I explained to you, I'm not going to go somewhere and just pour all of my money into it. And he's personally exhausting all of my funds, which I didn't have an issue with it. But then it's like, once you drain me out and clean me out, it's like, okay, I don't know what fight I don't know if this is a financial thing for him or what. But now it's like, okay, now I'm going to create a situation to where I'm going to make it to where I'm not going to make you leave, but I want you to go. Like he asked me on the video, when are you going to leave? And he just keep doing that. But he's not creating the environment where I'm in, or the situation where I can leave. Not financially, not physically, none of that.
Right.
I can leave. I can go sleep in my car, but that's what I have. With a 6-year-old.
Yeah, and it's not an ideal
It
situation.
don't make sense.
It's
not.
definitely not ideal. But if there's a genuine threat, then
But again, if there's a genuine threat, I have the right to go down there and file for a TPO as well. This is my dwelling. This is all I know. I'm from Jersey. I'm from the East Coast. I'm not even from here. My family is there.
take it.
Like, I mean, because it's like,
we're hearing you out, and I want to hear you out, but I also want you to.
I don't want to. I'm telling you,
excited.
I really don't want to go that route to where it's like another restraining order, another legal issue for him, another nothing. But he's continuing to threaten me in front of my daughter, and I'm not going to say let him run me up out of here like he ran the last girl up out of here, because all the threats with I'll get my sister to whoop you and all of that, I'm not going to have it. This is where I stay. If you're going to pose a threat, you can go. You could go in handcuffs, or you could go. But like you said, oh, this is his dad's house. I have this right, though. Yeah. And I'm not about to let him abolish my right. I have the right to be here.
Santos asked Nelson what she would like the police to do. You sitting here saying you don't want him in trouble. You don't want to break up. Nelson interrupted her saying the relationship was over, but I still care. Nelson also stated, I just called the police because I'm letting y'all know if he gets anybody to walk through this door and jump on me, I'm going to defend myself to the end. She also stated if he continues to threaten her, she might file a temporary protection order, but she really didn't want to go through that. My God. When Officer Moore spoke to Hawes in the basement, he stated that Nelson was hiding his PlayStation game from him, but he didn't say nothing. Moore suggests Hawes start the process to have Nelson evicted. He said it's a slow process, so they need to find a way to get along. I wasn't trying to put her out because before we were dating, she was my friend for like 12 years. We met in the Navy. Hawes told Moore that Nelson had been trying to provoke him. That's why he called the police.
If you were standing here in front of me right now, saying, yes, I want to leave here, I'm afraid, that's something else. But you're telling me you're not planning on breaking up. You're not
No,
planning
I
on
didn't
going
say we're
anywhere.
not planning on breaking up. I told you that we're not together. After the way he acted last night, I could never be with nobody like that. That treat me like that in front of my daughter or nothing. What I'm saying to you is I have been in domestic violence situations before, and I refuse to let somebody uproot me again. And he knows this.
But that's what.
So it's either I don't know if he thought he was being smart by calling the police. Like, his dad literally was just here before y'all pulled up. He came outside, they had a conversation. I guess they decided collectively that it's best for him to call the police, but I had already called.
Yeah.
This is not a tit for tat game that I want to play with him.
It's been a pretty busy night, and
Yeah.
honestly, we'd already pulled
I
the
saw
calls.
when I called the police, I went and said I was gonna meet them at
You probably saw us because we were leaving.
I saw 10 police cars go down Gettysburg and then right back up Gettysburg, like within seconds. So I called dispatch back, like, I don't think that the police is going to come anytime soon. So you can have them call me, or I'll go file a report in the morning.
So I want you to know, we'd already called it, or we'd already pulled this call when he, like, the updates came in as we were en route. So him calling had nothing to do with us showing up. It's just the timing was when we were able to come.
Okay.
But I guess my question is, what is it that you'd like us to do? Because you're saying you don't want him in trouble, you don't want to break up, you don't want to leave.
No, we're not together. That's done. Like, that's it. I genuinely do care. Like, you know, like, and I don't like to see nobody go through the system, even the people that deserve it, honestly, because it's a terrible thing, and he's been through that. If he gets locked up for domestic violence or a protection order against him yet again, there won't be the same leniency he had the last time. Like, he got 2 assault charges he was convicted of on law enforcement and his daughter's mother. Like, I just knowing what he's been through, even though he don't care about me, because obviously he called. I just wanted to make a report because, like I said, I'm not from here. He's threatening, like the last girlfriend that moved out. He told her she better be gone when he get back from picking up his daughter. If not, he's going to get her his sisters and his cousins and his friends to all come gang up on her. I just called the police because I'm letting y'all know, if he gets anybody to walk through this door and jump on me, I'm going to defend myself to the end. So I'm just saying, I'm not never going to go and do anything to him. I'll never touch him. I'll never, nothing. But if somebody comes here, or if he come and he jump on me, I'm going to grab whatever I could to get him off of me. And I'm just letting y'all know that. That's it. I'm going to stand my ground. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
So that's what this call was more about.
Okay.
If he continues to threaten me, I might have to go the route with the TPO. But right now, I really don't want to go through that because I know what it do to people.
I honestly think that this situation could have been avoided. All 3 parties would have still been alive. Number 1, he should have been arrested automatically. No question asked. Why? Because he threatened her with a gun. He threatened to take her life. He should have been in handcuffs. Number 2, when a man threatens you in any kind of way, get out, leave, don't try to stay. Even if you are paying all the bills, leave. Do not put your child in harm's way, ever. I honestly felt like she was making excuses to not leave. I understand you don't have no money. I understand that you don't have any family. But trust and believe me, when a man threatens to kill you, take your life, it's best to leave. What's more important, you not having any money or your life or your child's life? I wouldn't want to stay in that house that a man threatened me in. The house that they both were living in, his father owns. His father also owned at least 5 houses on that street. His grandmother stayed next door. They both met in the Navy, and they was in a relationship for about 1.5 years. Also, the family is suing the police department because they felt like the officers didn't do their job. I agree. That guy should have gotten arrested, but he didn't. My thoughts and prayers go out to the family, and I'll see y'all in my next video.